Assalamu alaikum. I am here with the new lecture entitled Presenting Your Research Orally. We shall be talking about these four major points: general advices, the structure of your oral presentation, and matters related to delivery and visual aids for your oral presentation. And again, as I told you that uh, the this lecture or this topic is also based on the practical suggestions. So where to deliver? So there are many occasions, there are many venues, many situations where you as a researcher would be delivering or presenting your research orally. Maybe a seminar paper to your classmates, maybe present your progress as a researcher because you have a system in your department or university where you have to present the progress of your research, or as part of a transfer procedure, maybe from the degree program, one degree program to the higher one, from MA to PhD, or as a conference of translation studies, or presenting research to a potential employer, maybe outside of the education institution, or you are presenting your research orally at a viva voce exam or as an invited lecture. So there are different situations, different audience, different venues, etc. So this is the point number one. Preparation for oral presentation is a key to good oral good performance. So good presentations take time to prepare. Mark Twain, a famous American writer, said it takes 3 weeks to prepare a good ad-lib speech. So actually, there is a pun in it. That is, the ad-lib speeches that is already prepared. So it takes 3 weeks to prepare a good ad lib speech which is done in this way. So because ideas take time, creativity cannot be rushed. It is a kind of foolishness that if one tries to rush towards the creativity, impossible. So, and dangers of last minute preparation can cause a lot of last minute preparation can cause a lot of anomalies, a lot of problems, or a lot of other communication issues. So the presentations, there are three basic questions: who, why, and what. So who actually is related to the audience and their level of expertise. Who are the audience? Your classmates, students, the teachers, professors, your would-be probable potential employer, or people of experts in the area at a conference, and so on. And what is the purpose of presentation? Purposes are different when you are as you present as a student orally. Of course, a purpose is different, that you want to tell something, that you want to get through the stage to the next stage, and so on. And then what? And that is related to your topic. Is it significant? Is it well prepared, and so on? The content should match the time available for your oral presentation that you prepare for your oral presentation. The content, the notes, or the PPTs, or whatever should match the time available. Time is very, very important in all kinds of situation, and usually the organizers, they specify the time that you have, these this much of time to complete your oral presentation. So never exceed the allotted time. This is the rule here. Most important things should be included because you want to save your time, you want to use your time intelligently. Hypothesis, methodology, and results. So these are the main point that you focus on your during your preparation. Also, a kind of comparison between oral presentation versus an essay. The audience has only one chance to hear what you have to say, and here 10 to 20 minutes. And nowadays, of course, if the 20 minutes is a luxury, when you are given 20 minutes to present your research orally. So I think it is 10 to 15 minutes, at max 15 minutes, not more than that. So you have to be very clear about what you want to include, and what you don't want to include in your presentation. So you are communicating directly with your audience. So limited points depending on the time should be included, and easy content of presentation matching with structuring, delivering, and visual aids. These are the good suggestions as for the oral presentation versus essay is concerned. Okay, next point is the structure of your oral presentation. So we have three basic elements of this structure: beginning, middle, and end. So in the beginning, you can think in this way that when I prepare as a researcher, when I prepare oral presentation, I can make it in three major points. So beginning, at the beginning, background to the presentation, and research question and hypothesis. The focus should be on that, and to the point and very precisely. And middle, the new data or the new ideas arising from your research. End, results and conclusion. The conclusion should be concise and to the point. Everything should be concise and to the point, because of the time available, because reader research is might be available to the readers, or those who get interest, they can read your written research or paper or thesis and whatever. But here you are addressing an audience, and those audience, and they are very attentive to you. So you have to select the key points of yourself within the available time. The structure, of course, is not a fixed thing, but you should keep in the mind these when the time, the level, objectives, level of the audience, of course, the objectives for which you are going to present this orally, the topic, the audience, and a couple of other things, the techniques, that your tools that you are using for the oral presentation. And these are the factors that will help you in understanding or in making a good structure for your oral presentation. Delivery, so we have again practical advices here. So delivery is a dialogue with your audience. So take it as a dialogue. So you are not it's not a one way communication. You are actually talking to your audience, and the reception depends on what and how do you present it. So this is very important: what you present and how you present. This is how is related to your delivery, your voice, your tone, your pauses, and your the whole oral presentation aspects related to the whole oral presentation. Find out which method is most comfortable for you. You can present your oral presentation with the help of the notes, written note, a complete script that you can keep in front of you, or you can prepare a PPT or a blend of two of these or all these three things. Advanced written presentation, is if you are using the written presentation, of course, translate it into an oral style, because when we write in a different way. So it should be transformed to an oral style, not not shouldn't be paper reading in front of the audience. Speak directly to your audience. This is very important. Maintaining eye contact, because this will fetch their eyes, their attention towards you. They will also feel that you are very much confident about the work that you have done. Never read a script held in front of your nose. This is again paper reading without giving any attention to your uh, audience. Use electrical devices to avoid monotony. The different styles, different phraseology, different devices, the linguistic devices that can help you, avoiding monotony. Vary the tone and volume of your voice. Sometime when you're putting emphasis, the tone should be different, the pitch should be different, the stress should be different, and intonation as well, and the pause for the effect as well. So use humor as appropriate whenever it is appropriate, especially in the beginning and in the middle, when you feel that your audience maybe are a little they are losing the interest in your oral presentation. You can appropriate way, you can bring some joke, some interesting thing, anecdote in your presentation. Move around the podium to not stop or still at a place, avoid hiding behind a dice or table. Do not do that as well. It gives a negative message. Don't be afraid of silence in between. Sometimes you have to take some pauses or maybe some silence. You let the audience to read your PPT, for example, and you give them time, and you keep during that moment, silently. You stand silently. You do not try to jump to the reading of that or explaining the points that are there. Be enthusiastic. You should be enthusiastic. Dress appropriately. Don't fidget with pens. Don't play with your pens, car keys, or loose change in your pocket, because again these are all negative things that will make that will hamper, of course, your communication with your audience. Presenting in the second foreign language, if you are presenting in the second language or in the language that is foreign for you, you may need to rely more on reading your script, but you can combine your reading with a few ad lib comments, of course. You have to prepare many things as well, in addition to your reading. Delivering any kind of talk can be a nerve-wracking business, any kind of talk, especially when you are delivering this talk in the second or the foreign language. Good preparation or relaxation exercise can reduce the nerves. Have a glass of water with you. Okay, the last point is the visual aids. That again we have practical suggestions here. So overhead projector or PowerPoint slides or multimedia, whatever technology that is available to you or that you think you can use them successfully, of course. So you should use it. Visual aids can enhance an oral presentation by helping an audience to follow your talk. That's very important. Show your audience the structure of your presentation at the beginning. That's very important. Again, in the beginning, you should tell this is my plan. These are the topics or the point that I'm going to discuss. So familiarity with the technology is a must. If you use these things, you should be familiar with the technology that you are using. Always bring a hard copy backup with you, because sometimes it happens that there is no electricity in our culture, especially in countries like us, or maybe some technological, let's say the hurdle comes out of blue, so you don't have no other option but to rely on the hard copy that you have already prepared. So in addition to your soft preparation, everything is good, but you should also keep a hard copy in your hand, whether these are PPTs, whether these are notes, whether this is a complete research. Software compatibility is another problem that may arise. Are you using Windows 10, 7, 2097, or 2013, and so on? Because maybe you use a USB, and you when you use that in another system, and you have prepared that document in a 2000.97 or even 2007, and it's not compatible with the latest version. So that should also be taken into account. Maybe you send your PPT through email in advance to the organizers of the conference, so this problem might arise. So take care of all these probable problems beforehand. So minimal information on each slide. Slide should not be filled with the text. Minimal information. So use large font. They say minimum font size of 24. I would personally suggest more than that. After each slide, give few minutes silence for the audience to read, because the audience, they when you change your slide and you transit from one slide to another, they would try to read what is in the slide, and then they will pay attention to what you say. So it is always better to give few minutes or few seconds, depends upon the number of sentences, or how much text is available on one slide. Benefits of rehearsal is very beneficial to fellow students or colleagues in front of the mirror, whatever the situation, but you have to do a kind of rehearsal. How long your presentation is very important. They say if you have 20 minutes, not more than 6, because you would spend 3 minutes in one slide. So in that way, not more than 6. You see, the rule is very strict here, and that means very lesser text on each slide but longer talk, that is 3 minutes estimate here. Best way to arrange your paper, where to stand. Though you should know that where I'm going to arrange my papers here, or where should I stand, should I keep moving from where to there, and then helps know the shortcomings in your presentation. Rehearsal, of course, will discover your weaknesses and you can improve through the this rehearsal. It is important, especially in a second and foreign language, rehearsal become more important, more relevant. If in a foreign language, speak slowly, because you have pronunciation issues, you have grammar issues, you have speaking problems. Maybe your accent is different from the native speakers, of course. Naturally, this is very quite understandable. Arrange a rehearsal a week or two in advance. I mean, you should do this rehearsal a week or two in advance before you actually present your research orally in front of a native speaker of the language. Or rehearsal should be in front of the native speakers because they better tell you many things about the language, about the accent, about the pronunciation, and so on. Okay, again, benefit of rehearsal is video yourself. Of course, record your rehearsal when you are giving a talk. This will help you to identify your personal style and consider any improvement you could make. Such, for example, do you smile enough, or you smile too much? Or do you make enough eye contact? So these are different aspects. There are many other aspects that will help you improve your presentation if you record your rehearsal in the video shape. Do you speak an appropriate speed, or use appropriate intonation? Do you have some irritating habits like removal and repositioning of glasses, or putting your hands in your pockets and then of pulling the things inside your pockets? Okay, now the advice is related to the questions and answer sessions. You can get valuable feedback through question answer session. Do not be afraid of constructive criticism. If people are criticizing and the criticism is constructive, if they are giving suggestions for the improvement, welcome them. Remain as calm and composed as possible, because this very psychological aspect. This will keep your trust, or the audience will keep trusting you. Questions which you can't answer in that situation, you can either say, don't be panic first, admit that you don't know, no problem, I don't know the answer, no problem, promise to look into the matter. Ask if anyone in the audience has any views on the matter. So different techniques, I must say, or different ways are available in this situation when you can't answer to a question. Avoid confrontation in question answer session. Do not indulge in argumentation and confrontation, or in question answer session. So when you have hostile question in that situation, you can say, admit that there are other approaches. So you can avoid confrontation in this way, that there are other approaches also available, or these are the views that can be discussed, that can be analyzed, and I personally don't know the researchers have expressed these views, but they are there. Okay, the conclusions possible, and so on. So offer to discuss these with the questioner after the session on a cup of tea. I think this is a very decent way to avoid the confrontation in question answer session. That when you get, we can discuss. We don't have much time, so we can discuss this question while we'll meet on a cup of tea. Uh, what are the benefits of oral presentation? We see that you have the opportunity to disseminate the results of your research among the students, among the peers, among your teachers, among other audience experts in the field. Make an important contribution to your reputation. You can enhance your reputation among the people. So you can contribute in the development of your career, and hence take every opportunity to sharpen this particular skill. Okay, my dear students, with this, this lecture ends. Take very good care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum.